Hello everybody, welcome to Dr.K.Liu Maths channel. This question is a DSE Maths AMC. Then the question is about mean, range, and variance. And let's look at this question. Let M1, R1, V1 be the mean, range, and variance of the good data of 100 data x1 to x100. Take a remark here that x1 to x100 should not be in ascending order or descending order, but it may be mixed and therefore not in order in descending order or ascending order. And let's see another set of data. M2 and R2 V2 be the mean, range, variance of another good data x times x1, x times x2 to x times x100, and finally it add an extra term, and that terms x times x1. First, I try to calculate the mean here, and for M2, okay, so sorry, for M1 should be equal to x1 plus x100 over 100. That means x1 plus x100 should be equal to 100 M1. And then for M2 should be equal to x times x1 plus x times x2 to x times x100, and add an extra term x times M1 over. There is 101 data, therefore I not 101. Okay, factorize the x outside here. We can see that this part is actually equal to 100 M1, x times 100 M1 plus x M1 over 100 M1, and that is 100 and x times M1 over 100 and M1, which is equal to M1. M2 is actually equal to x times M1, therefore this is true. And for the data here, x1 to x100, the maximum minus the minimum is equal to the range. Therefore, the R1 is equal to maximum of x1 to x100 minus a minimum of this set. And let's look at it, for example, that you can see the xi, this is j. But if you can see that the M1, because M1 is the mean of this 100 data, therefore this data M1 is should be greater than or less than, greater than minimum, greater than xj, less than xi. That is true. Therefore, for the range 2 of maximum, x times x1 to x times x100, and also an extra term M1. This should be equal to x times xi minus minimum and similarly, that minimum term should be x times xj, because all the terms are only multiplied by a constant positive terms, which is x. Therefore, that the original corresponding terms for does not change their order. Therefore, it actually equal to x times xi minus xj. That is xi minus xj, which is equal to x times r1. So therefore, this is true. Okay, for the variant of V1 should be by the definition of variant is x1 minus m1 square plus x100 minus m100 m1 square over 100. And for V2 should be x1 minus m1 x times x100 minus m1 all square. And also one more extra term, that means x times m1 minus x times m1 all square, that is 0. And the denominator should be 101. And this 0, and this we can factorize the x squared is 64 outside. And this is this term, you can see that this term are actually equal to 100 times V1. And this is less than V1. Less than. Therefore, less than no equal, less than. Yeah. Therefore, the answer should be V2 less than 64 times V1. Of course, this is not true. Therefore, the answer should be A. Okay, I think it is a standard question, and I cannot remember the year of similar question in DSE and DSE Maths MC question, and maybe 2020 2020 year. It means 2020 year, and maybe something like that. You can search the exact date. But anyway, and I hope guys can enjoy this video. If you found Dr.K.Liu Maths channel is useful.